Hey everyone, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today we're going to continue with the development of my space shuttle program because there's been actually a breakthrough in that. I've done a lot of research online about what my problems were with my space shuttle, and it all comes down to thrust vectoring. Now, let's see, do I still have my shuttle? What? Oh, it's missing a couple parts because I did not reinstall those mods. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter because I have a newer and better shuttle version. It's actually... Let's just delete that because it didn't work. It's the TiberDyne Shuttle mod. I actually modified the texture, so it's named Enterprise, like the first space shuttle, after the Enterprise from Star Trek, of course. And basically the difference with this shuttle is, unlike, say, this engine, which has a limited vectoring range of like a couple degrees, this TiberDyne system has a superior system. Where is the engine module thingy? Is it under... Oh, here it is. So it actually has a corrective ability here where it can do a lot more thrust vectoring, which means that the shuttle will actually fly correctly, which is pretty cool. I upgraded the docking port, put a light in there. Eventually we're going to start using this for actual service, but I like how it looks. I took off the decals from the wings and renamed it Enterprise, and I have a Columbia and a Challenger and Endeavour, Atlantis, Discovery, all of them are going to be in this program. So what we're going to do here then is go ahead and try to launch this thing. Now I'm going to do this without MechJeb because it's all wiggly. We got to strut it up. That's one thing I'll say for this thing. It did not come with enough struts. I don't know what the deal with that is. Anybody who builds stuff in KSP is usually like, oh, I'll put a lot of struts on. I guess he was just trying to not ruin the aesthetics of the model, which is pretty excellent. I did not want that booster. Thank you, game. We'll just like call that good. I don't want to strut it up too much, but that ought to be sufficiently good. Let's go ahead and update that save. I'm gonna have to do that with the Columbia and Challenger and whatnot too. So all I did was I created a different wing for a part for each and every one of the shuttles, so that's how they have their different names. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Now, this should have SAS in that nose cone, I believe. And let's go ahead and fire it up. Okay, the thrust correcting is not happening. Why is that? Those engines didn't fire is why. What is going on with that? Why did the other engines not fire? I swear, this thing was working. Fuel lines look right. Where are these engines? They look like they're staged. I had the throttle turned down. I just realized that was my bad. I thought I turned up the throttle. That's a rookie mistake. Oopsies. I knew those engines were working. A little tired. You'll have to forgive me. It's been a long day. I wish those bay doors would just stay closed. Alright, so SAS on, throttle up. There we go, main engine start, everything looks good now. So this thing, look at the angle that those engines are vectoring at there. It's much better. And I'm actually having to pull up a little bit here. I'm going to thrust down just a hair. So I'm having to pull back on this. So this thing functions incredibly well compared to what I'm used to. I think in the future we're probably going to have to modify some of these parts so that I can actually utilize them on a larger shuttle, because right now we're kind of limited in scale. Alright, which way do I want to roll? I want to roll towards 90 degrees here, so let's turn that off, get the roll going. That was a little bit of a crazy abrupt maneuver. The SAS is not treating me kindly here. There we go. We're at 90 degrees now. Are we? Yes, we are. Alright, so I'm going to start my gravity turn just a hair here. And like the real shuttle, we got to kind of go upside down a little bit here. I'm going to straighten out for the booster separation though, because they always hit the wings. I got to put separatrons on that. It's a little bit unfortunate. That would not be something you'd really want in your actual shuttle, is that sort of thing. But it's like night and day. That thrust vectoring makes such a huge difference. I gotta figure out if that plugin can be applied to like another engine part. Maybe I can just upscale this engine segment down there. I don't rightly know. I'm trying to get my heading fixed here, but the shuttle's not cooperating that much. It's kind of straightening out now. So what are we looking at for our good old apoapsis? We still got a long way to go. But this thing is definitely capable of achieving orbit, I think. No doubt about that. Assuming I pilot it correctly. And I gotta scooch over. Oh, dear God. It's very hard with the SAS on to get it to actually go towards the heading I want, but if I turn the SAS off, it gets a little bit on the squiggly wiggly side, so let's get the juice here. Definitely not going to be the prettiest orbit that ever happened. Come on, let me turn. Come on, man. It just won't pitch, and it's trying to roll when I try to yaw over. I don't get it. But greatly improved over what it was. Are we losing altitude now? We are. I pitched up too much, didn't I? That's unfortunate. I just cannot get this thing under control here. Please cooperate. You know, I'm actually going to go back to the vehicle assembly building, and I'm going to put a mech jeb on this because I don't really like having to worry about the pitch and the roll at the same time while I'm trying to get up here. So I'll let mech jeb handle the ascent, and I'll handle the roll of the craft. I'll be right back. Alright, so that should all be good now. Frankly, it's a little bit difficult to fly, but it's not too bad. You get used to it. I am going to use our good friend mech jeb today, though. Let's go for 100 kilometers. Sounds perfect. Everything there looks good. Let's go ahead and engage. And we should be good to go. Let's get a good shot for the takeoff here if we can. Try to get a thumbnail out of this if I can. Now, the actual space shuttle had a pretty limited range in terms of orbits that it could do as well, just due to how much fuel it could actually carry. So I don't know what sort of orbit we're going to get out of this thing. That might not have even been the best flight plan either, you know. I don't really know what the optimal shuttle flight plan is going to be. Now, returning back home is going to be a little bit harder. I'm not great at landing things safely. Alright, so we got our apoapsis up. I think we can probably let the shuttle tank do a little bit more of this for us, and then we'll deal with actually ditching it before we actually reach a stable orbit. But I want to get it as much out of this thing as I can, because the fuel is really not that great. I need to put some lights on the outside of it too so I can actually see it. What is happening now? Let's turn on the RCS so that this can get under control a little bit. It's hard to tell what's happening because it's a little bit on the dark side here. Look at that profile though. I love those delta wings. Just need to figure out how to fix that nose cone. Just a little too pointy. But it actually has RCS thrusters and stuff in it, so it's not like I can just lop it off. It actually serves a purpose. So I'm going to have to think about that. Alright, let's turn off the RCS. Yeah, I had a feeling that was probably doing more harm than good. Now, that's getting... Oh, God, we left the fuel tank in orbit. We left the fuel tank in orbit. That's a little bit of a shame, isn't it? Let's disengage the autopilot. I didn't think it was going to make orbit that easily. Huh. Oh, that's an issue. It doesn't have any sort of system on board to deorbit that either. Let's remove all those nodes so I can actually see what the heck's going on here a little better. Yeah, the tank doesn't have an engine on it either, so it's not like I can just point it and decouple either. I really didn't think it was going to circularize the orbit that quick. Oh well, nothing to do but leave it, I guess. And let's maneuver away. We'll have to send some sort of junk retrieval thing up here. Like I said, I'm not used to all this stuff yet, so I want to open up the cargo bay and actually turn on my light so I can see a little bit at least. Definitely need to put some hull lights on this thing. Now, the odd thing about this that I have to say is that it seems to spin in a kind of erratic fashion, but it's not too bad. So, how much? We got a lot of monopropellant. I'm going to attempt to rendezvous with the space station and see if that will actually work. So I am going to use MechJeb to do that though, because I want to be efficient with this. I need to set up action groups for this. What happens to the light when I do this? Oh, it bleeds out of the wings. That's kind of funny. Well, we can see the shuttle a little better. I'll leave that like that for now. So yeah, let's let MechJeb handle this for sure this time, because I do not want anything unfortunate to happen here. So I guess I'll just meet you, hopefully, at the space station, or maybe stranded in space. We'll see. I don't know the range on this thing at all, so fingers crossed. Alright, well, an interesting problem that I've noticed with it is that the center of thrust is pretty screwed up, to be honest. These engines are not really... I'm gonna free the gimbal, see if that helps. I don't know. I tried locking the gimbal. Alright, locking the gimbal is bad. Okay. It just thrusts kind of funny out here. I guess it's getting it done, more or less. Not now. Yeah, look at this thing. It's just chasing that little blue dot. So obviously some improvement to the handling characteristics could probably be done. I don't really know what. I guess adding another set of thrusters down below so the center of thrust is more in line. It should be correcting for some of that, but obviously it's having some issues with that. Yeah, disabling those rear RCS ports actually seems to have largely fixed the issue. I guess the real space shuttle did pretty much just use the nose RCS when it was in orbit. So that does make some sense. Alright, so if we're closing out on the station though, where is it? Oh, there she is. There she is. Yeah, so this has been a learning experience, and I think I could probably actually pilot it without the RCS back there. That was really screwing things up for us. We've got about half of our fuel left too, so we should easily be able to deorbit after docking. So this is going to be the preferred method of crew transfers from now on, until I can build a functional shuttle myself. I am going to try to utilize this rear part because that's going to make a really big difference. Now, hopefully it's going to really be able to brake here. I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm going to have to re-enable those RCS ports in the back to dock, probably. I have to set up some action groups for this. Yeah, that's much easier to control. Good, 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 good. So we have arrived. Now, let's kill that rotation there. And we're still approaching the space station, but not at too worrying of a speed. Do I have an open docking port anywhere that I can use? Let's go for the one on the far side here, even though it's not really ideal. That looks pretty cool. I love the space shuttle. Sorely missed. So let's get the really nifty docking port extended, but you can't really see it because it's super dark over there. So I think what I'm going to do is take over some manual control for the moment here and try to fling this thing behind, get it oriented in the correct direction. That space station's starting to look pretty cool. I like those lights. They're really subtle. It's not like ridiculously bright. And that docking port sticks up a good amount. That's good news. I was worried about that. Get the nose pitched up. Let's re-enable the RCS back here and shut down the engine. Alright, so now we just need to cruise on by the station, and the stupid rotation won't stop. And the RCS ports, I gotta say, are pretty unbalanced on this thing. I'm not enjoying utilizing the RCS that much. Now, which way am I trying to go here? Trying to figure out which port is which. Okay, that sort of worked, I guess. I only have the nose to... How do I push it that way? No, that's the light. This is very confusing. The RCS ports don't seem to be lined up in a very logical fashion here. Yeah, that... Oh, because I'm controlling from the other docking port. Duh. That's not the shuttle's fault. That's my fault for being stupid, but now I get it. There is no docking camera on this. I'm going to have to modify it to be compatible with the docking camera mod. I cannot get this thing over to that part of the station. The SAS is actually being counterproductive right now. Not for that. I should probably use the mech jeb kill rotation instead. But I'm not. Of course, I don't know which way that docking port is oriented exactly in terms of what it's making me do here either. It seems like that's all backwards still. Docking is such a slow procedure. Well, you hope it's a slow procedure, at least. If it's not, you probably got a problem. 'Cause then it's just called a crash. Let's get a little bit more going on this. And I believe I'm going to let MechJeb handle this dock as well, because there's no docking camera and it's really dark. I guess this light will probably help a little bit, but I'm going to get MechJeb close at least. Definitely don't need anybody crashing into any solar panels. It makes me a little nervous because I don't have my docking array up here yet, so It's a little nerve-wracking, but I think we got this under control now. Now, I need to kind of pitch over. How would I translate that way? That's pitching, so what if... Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a little close. I don't like how close we're getting to those docking ports. I mean, not docking ports. I don't like how close we're getting to those solar panels. I can't see the edge, but I think we're past it. Go ahead and set our target. And let's see what the autopilot can do here. I need to turn the shuttle this way. Well, at least the mech-jet docking sequence seems to work with this docking port. I actually don't even know if it's going to be able to dock. I assume the docking port works because everything else in this mod seems very well done. So I'm going to just trust in the docking port that we're not going to just bounce off or collide or something. This is a very well made mod. Must have taken forever, man. Hope this guy got a job offer like everybody else seems to. All the really good modders seem to get job offers. That looks so cool though. And docking. Yay, it worked. Holy crap, that looks awesome. I'm very pleased. Now I just need to spend a little bit more time developing my own shuttle system. And we can keep using this one though. This is going to be my crew transfer shuttle because I like the real space shuttle a lot. I'm a huge fan. It's sad that it's gone, but you know, its time had come and all that. And that just looks sweet docked on my station there, I gotta say. I'm super happy with this. Now we're gonna have to deorbit this thing. I think I probably will switch out a couple crew members while we're here. And how's the fuel situation? Well, it's hard to say. Where's the RCS fuel kept in this thing? It's got electrical charge, gear. That's a decent amount. I think we've got plenty of monopropellant to get back. I'm not so sure about the oxidizer, but is there oxidizer in this section? Oh yeah, there's a decent amount. I think we'll be fine. So I'm going to do some stationy stuff here, and I'll catch up with you guys and we'll try to deorbit this thing and land. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, well I decided against any sort of crew transfer, so I think we're just going to go ahead and undock this. Oh god, why? That's a problem. We're a little bit stuck. Wrong way. Oh yeah, we're stuck. Why are we stuck? Alright, let's not spin out of control here. We don't need that. I said turn on the SAS. I have very little control right now. Get the nose away. Okay, this thing's dicey. Let's get that out of the way. And let's hit that way to get away from the station. Definitely need to do some work on balancing these RCS pods out. I mean the RCS ports out because they are not good. We're just going to close that bay now too and get away from this station before something terrible ends up happening. Can I please get some SAS control on this? Why is the SAS not wanting to function? That might end up being quite a problem. Yeah, I got no SAS. Well, that's going to make landing pretty hard. Let's go ahead and activate the engine. And I'm going to free the gimbal as well. I would really like the spin to stop. There is no nice way to say that. Let's stop spinning. This thing is so crazy right now. Yeah, I can't turn on the the SAS at all. Let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center and reload it. Sometimes that fixes stuff like that. Because I need SAS in order to not crash, I think. I don't see how I'm going to do this without SAS. It seems pretty unlikely. Why do you not want to work, SAS? Now you do, okay. That did fix it. Where is the station? It's right over there. Man, it's all crooked now and screwed up. Stupid shuttle. You need some work. Well, I think the best thing to do at this point is going to be just to get away from the station a little bit. So I want to go face retrograde. Man, this thing sucks to turn. Look at it. It just spins and spins and spins and spins. You have to have like 12 hands to control it. Did I not activate the... I activated the main engine. That's not the engine I want. I want the little guys. Just do a little bit of a burn here to get out of the physics range of the station. Make my life a little better here. Look at that. It's trying to push the nose down too. So this solves the problems of launching the shuttle, but then it creates a whole bunch of new problems in actually operating the thing. The SAS is just the SAS and RCS are fighting just to keep us aligned here. We're still drifting. I did turn on the gimbaling on this, right? No, I didn't. That's probably not helping matters either. That was my fault more than the shuttle's fault. Yeah, it's not having to fight so hard now. Now we're not trying to fully re-enter the atmosphere here. I'm just trying to get away from the station and make my life a little bit easier here. Now that we've done that, where is the Kerbal Space Center? I think it's right over here on the dark side of the planet. So I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to warp around until we get some sunlight because I don't want to land in the dark. It's going to be hard enough without extra challenges like that. Probably lower the orb. Oh, how far down does this go? Ooh. Uh-oh. I was going to say I'll probably lower the orbit a little bit, but I guess I will be with a little bit of aero braking here. I was not paying attention. I didn't think it'd take that little to deorbit. Well, we're not going to be fully deorbited, but we are going to lose some speed here. We're not going to be making too many orbits. It's probably for the best. Alright, well, the Kerbal Space Center looks like it's going to be coming up on the daylight side of the planet here. And we are in the atmosphere again anyway, so it may be time to start worrying about where we're going to deorbit and so forth. Now, I probably could get one more orbit out of this. And I think Kerbin will still be in, the part of Kerbin I want to land on will still be in the sunlight then. So that actually might be the thing that I do. That's kind of pretty. This thing seems fairly impractical. It's not going to be able to carry a lot into orbit. It's difficult to fly. It's probably going to be difficult to land. Let's do some time warping and just get through. I think I am going to go around one more time. See what it does to my apoapsis though. I think I have plenty of apoapsis that this will actually work out just fine, and then we'll actually do some legitimate braking before we hit the atmosphere next time. Or actually maybe even in the atmosphere. Because we're still pretty far from the periapsis. We're not losing altitude that quickly though. So I think it will be okay. Alright, well we made it back out of the atmosphere that time around. We lost about almost 50,000 meters going through the atmosphere that time. I think I actually want to deorbit this time, so I'm going to try to swing around here and burn prograde as best I can, but like I said, this thing does not really cooperate. Look at that spin that's happening. It's ridiculous, man. Alright, let's give it just a little bit here. I'm going to get this down probably to, I don't know, 70,000, so it's inside of the atmosphere because, well, it's actually lowering my periapsis quite a bit because I'm where I'm burning. It's not really a way to lower my apoapsis without lowering my periapsis at this point, though. So let's get that down to like call it 40. And I hope we'll have enough braking to actually deorbit the next time and land somewhere near the Kerbal Space Center and not the ocean. Yeah, we'll call it 40 and call that good, I think. And bam, good enough. So that's still at 100. So if we lose another, we're going to lose more because we're deeper in the atmosphere. So I think that will probably work out relatively well. So let's just warp back around until we hit the atmosphere again and see what happens here. For whatever reason, it's giving me trouble. Sometimes that warp just does not want to cooperate very well. I don't think there's a chance we're landing near the Kerbal Space Center, but maybe we'll land. I could have planned this burn a lot better. I didn't plan it really in any way, so really any planning would have been better. Because I got a little bit out of hand. I didn't actually intend to burn when I did as much as I did. Like I said, these are all just learning experiences. I'm sure that really comforts my Kerbonauts, but it is what it is. And let's face it, my friends, your lives are sort of expendable. I try to not kill them too much. I'm actually pretty nice to my Kerbins, but you can't always be. And space shuttles are a fairly dangerous affair. As real life would suggest, they are fairly dangerous. I think aside from the fire on Apollo 1 or whatever it was on the launch pad in the capsule, all of NASA's lost astronauts have been on space shuttles. Not to worry you there, Buzz Kerman, but I'm pretty sure that that's true. It's a little thing to think about while we're re-entering the atmosphere here. Alright, so what's happening on the apoapsis side? It's going down, but not that quick. We're still pretty dang far from the periapsis, though, so I don't think we're leaving the atmosphere again this time. I don't think we're quite straight either. Not that it probably matters, but I would like my lift profile to be as good as it can be, because I have a feeling this thing is going to fly like pretty much like the real space shuttle, which means like a brick. Which is also not the most encouraging thing to probably be saying right now around my Kerbonauts, but I have a feeling we won't be gliding that far. I know the real space shuttle, they had to use RCS in the atmosphere, I believe, to help steer and stuff, because the wings are just really small for something of this size to actually be able to glide any remarkable distance, even at the speeds that it comes in at. So now nighttime is coming right here. I believe that's the terminator between, like, I think the planet's going that way. No, we launched this way, so that's the east. The sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. So yeah, nighttime's coming too. So hopefully we will make it down this time, because I would really rather not land in the dark, because I do not have real landing lights on this thing, unfortunately. Let's do a little bit of time warping. I don't want to go crazy with the time warping, because it likes to break things, and I am going to give these guys their best chance of making it back, but no guarantees. Alright, she's really losing some altitude now, and that is going to be in the atmosphere. That's it. This is it, man. We're losing it quick now. And of course it's dark, where we're gonna probably end up landing. I have no idea what's going on down below. We land upside down and leave the cargo bay open. I got a light in there. Not sure that would be the wisest thing to do, though. Well, at least it'll look cool. They're pretty excited. Well, Fillmore's a little concerned, but the other two are like, yeah, we're gonna make it. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We should start seeing the re-entry effects happening sometime soon. I noticed they usually happen at like 36 to 32. Is that a little bit now? I thought I saw a little orange, but it wasn't. I'd rather not blow up the Enterprise, too. I didn't really think that part through of naming it the Enterprise. But then again, it would have been a bad taste to blow up Columbia or something like that. Oh yeah, we're landing well in the dark and quite possibly... Oh, that's the big continent. There's a good chance there's land where we're going to be landing. But it's definitely going to be mountainy and dark. That looks like water. That's not encouraging. There's land over there, though. I don't know how much I can steer with this thing in the atmosphere. I have a feeling a lot less than I would probably like. We are definitely still not seeing any re-entry effects. Slowing down a lot, though. That's good. It means our angle was pretty shallow and nice to the shuttle, which when there's actual re-entry effects will matter, but right now it doesn't. Just means we're going to overshoot the land, I think. There's more land there, though. Trying to just like fudge this thing to get a little bit over there. That seemed to work, kinda. Oh, man, I wish there was more light than this. I'm going to turn on whatever lights I do have. There we go with the re-entry at 30,000. Thereabouts. I think it was 29 something, but good enough. This is like a little whatever. Archipelago? I don't remember what they call it. Little island chain, though. That doesn't bode that well for not making a landing in the ocean, does it? Oh man, that re-entry looks really cool on this thing, though. That is sweet, man. That's worthy of a screenshot. Turn off the RCS for 1 second just to get the picture. Sorry guys, we're gonna risk your lives to take a picture. Yeah, this is gonna be a water landing, isn't it, boys? Sorry, boys. Although it's starting to fall kind of like a brick, so maybe we can like gently swing it over that way. I'm gonna try to steer using RCS mainly here. See if that does any good, because it gets all wiggly if I do anything else. Alright, re-entry stuff is done. I'm gonna temporarily turn off the SA. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, it's not that bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. Oh, it's pretty bad. Save me. Save me, SAS. It's up to you. Alright, and I'm kicking in as much thrust as I can to try to turn. Oh, she doesn't want to do anything here. I gotta pull up more than that. Let's get those gear down. Optimistically. At least maybe they'll slow us down. Not good. Pull up. It won't pull up. Oh, we got some turnage going on, though. That's a little encouraging. This nose is going to smack straight into the ground, though. What am I going to do about that? What are we going to do about that? Which one of these translates this way? Ugh. Come on, nose. Oh, that's not better. That's not better at all. Get control. Yeah, you got control upside down. Nice. Oh, this is not good. I cannot pull this up. I think we've stalled officially and lawn darted. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Buzz. I did what I could. The shuttle program has got some work to go still, I would say. At least the light still works, though. That's good. That thing is just freaking out, man. Yeah, everything crashed into the terrain. Oh, well, we'll call it a successful mission anyway. Because we did make it up to the space station. We didn't destroy the space station, so that's always a good thing. Docking with the space station at this point, I think, is still going to be reserved for my regular resupply ships. I like the idea of the space shuttle a lot, but it's still just not really there. I'm sure I could have landed that thing if I hadn't pitched the nose down, but it doesn't have enough lift to really be that controllable in the atmosphere, which I know the real space shuttle had that problem as well, but I don't think there's a way to really make a space shuttle work very well in this game. I've seen people who have space shuttles, and I'm not saying that you can't like make a space shuttle sort of work, but at the end of the day, it's just a question of like why bother, because really it seems like rockets can deliver bigger payloads, which is like what NASA has concluded at this point, I guess, too, but they deliver bigger payload. I'm trying to straighten the station out. I'm making it worse, aren't I? Okay, we need to go this way. But like I was saying, even NASA's kind of concluded that they don't use the space shuttle anymore. Something like the Dragon capsule here, it's just a lot more practical. It just makes more sense. So, I mean, the spaceplane dream is going to stay alive here. We'll probably use space shuttles from time to time, but their use is probably going to be fairly limited in my program at this point, because I've spent, I don't even know how long not recording on my own when I'm not recording, just trying to get something working, and it's not happened. So I think for now we're going to shelf the program unless there's another major breakthrough, but we don't need tragedies like poor Buzz dying like that. Buzz is a good member of our program, and we don't need stuff like that happening. So I think next time, what are we going to do next time? We'll probably launch another component up to the space station. Would probably be a good thing to do. Let's close that, and we'll put a little memorial somewhere. I don't want to activate the docking camera. Why did I do that? I want to close the shield. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.